Happy holidays. Hello, this is Wmpyr. For today's lesson, we're going to be talking about the tactical folding knife. And first things first is we're going to focus on deployment. A lot of instructors stress the importance of deployment, and it makes total sense because even if you have the best knife fighting skills in the world, if you don't know how to bring your knife into combat or into self-defense scenario, if you don't know how to bring it in, then you'll never get access to your knife and your skills will never come into play. So it makes perfect sense. And the first thing that I see is, people buy a folding knife and, they just pretty much clip it onto their pocket like so, and they go, okay, and then they practice, boom, like that, and okay, they practice deploying it like so. The next step from that, let's not just stop there, and the next step is, let's think of scenarios, okay? So the most obvious scenario to me is pretty much when your back's against the wall. Okay, when your back's against the wall like so, the way that you access the knife is now a little bit different. And also, let's practice the reverse, where you're faced forward against the wall. And we can do the same thing with the ground, where your back is on the floor, or the reverse, now the front face down on the floor, okay? So another one, very important, is a seated position, and then also, how about with a seatbelt? That also changes things a bit too. And a very interesting one for me was while running. So, you're running like this, practice running, jogging around your block or whatever, and then you deploy without stopping. Okay, go ahead and boom, as you're running, and don't stop. So that's also very, very interesting as well. Also do it with sprints. First go slow, just do it walking, and then do it jogging, and then do it running, and then do full-blown sprints. Why not? And then, of course, in the martial arts circles, they also do like rolling and tumbling, and they go more extreme like that as well. But that's what's important, is to try those different scenarios deploying your knife. The next step is a combat stance. That is very, very important, because a combat stance is different from just your, even if you're being pinned up against the wall here, you're in a straight, normal, standing posture right here, and then maybe leaning back a little bit because now you're being held hostage. But that's the key. You're being held hostage, so that's a hostage situation, which is different from a combat situation. In a combat situation, that means you're fighting. You are fighting the guy. So notice my stance now is wider, I'm lower, okay? And the main idea is, no matter what style it is you practice, whether it's Thai boxing, or it's more like conventional boxing, or it's more like wrestling, or it's some Kung Fu style, or whatever style it is, the main idea is, can you dish out force, and can you also receive force? Because that's what combat is. That's what's going to happen. In a nutshell, you're going to be hitting them, whatever technique it is. I don't care, crane fist or whatever, but you're going to be dishing out force and then also receiving, because they fight back, right? So as long as your stance can handle that, that's what's important. And I'm saying that that's different from a regular, everyday, just standing or walking, moving around stance. So from that stance, you need to practice your deployment, okay? So from here, let's say I hit him in the eye right there. I do a palm strike, boom, throwing knees, and then as I'm doing another palm strike and keeping the distance, maybe checking their hand in case they go to reach for a weapon, I deploy my knife from here. Okay, that's what's important. And then boom, the knife comes out, trying to keep him at bay while looking in case there's multiple attackers. Okay, so now, once again, this stance is very different from the other scenarios that we described. Okay, so that's the next step. Now let's go one more step further. This is still in a combat stance, but this time, still in a combat situation, but this time you're in a compromised position. So they are attacking you, because what I showed you just now, you're in a dominant position. You're here, you're striking them, elbows, headbutts, knees, whatever, and you're keeping an eye in case there's improvised weapons that you could use or they might be going after, or you're looking for the exit or whatever. But either way, you're in a good position here. You're in a strong position. But what I'm talking about for this next part is you're in a compromised position, meaning you're probably like this. Okay, you are defending, you're just trying to survive because they're attacking you and they're putting in a lot of aggression and everything, and it's overwhelming, and you're just trying to survive here, okay? So when you get the chance from here, that's your main idea first, is you got to defend, because if you don't defend, one of those can slip in, and now you're out, and now they can do whatever they want. So you got to defend, and as you're defending, you may get a chance to deploy, okay? So from here, you deploy your knife, and now I may try to neutralize their attack. So if I get close to them, they'll have less of a leverage to do one of these. Now they have to just hit me like this rather than here, right? So I get real close to them, and then from there, cut them in the shin, bye-bye Achilles tendon, bye-bye hamstring, okay? So now I can try to change the tide from there. But the main idea is a compromised combat stance. So that's it for now. Just some ideas for you guys to think about. Thank you for watching. Be safe and take care, folks.